If you're looking for safe and reliable account grinds, make sure you hit up my boy Cliff2_3 on Twitter. What up, y'all? RCA here. Quick video for you guys. Today we're going over RCA roster reviews. It's been a minute since I have done a roster review video, but it seems like a good time as teams are getting better. The meta has changed a little bit, and I put on Twitter, drop your teams below and let me know what you guys are working with and what improvements you may need. So I did get a lot of inquiries. Now, a lot of y'all got some powerhouse teams already, so I'm not going to be featuring a lot of those in this, maybe one or two, but you know who you are. If your team is already good, just take that, man. You know you got a W team. No need to chase the clout for that, bro. But we do got a couple people that do need some help with their squads, and that's what we're here to do. So we're going to be showing them different ways to improve their team based on the current meta and see if we can get them a better squad with how much MT they have left. Now, for comparison, this is my squad. Not the best team, but it can compete overall with pretty much any team in the game. So we got Jordan, Ben Wallace, Giannis, Patrick Ewing, Dave Robinson. We can compete with height. We also have some good ball handlers out there, like Jordan and Luka Doncic, that can take control of the offense. You guys know I'm defensive oriented, so I base my team around good, sound defense and rebounding. I also am running Jerry Sloan as my coach to give me that +8 boost all around. We got Yao Ming in case I need a 7-for-5, and then we got Powell out there just in case I want to run him. So we'll see what drops tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so we're going to be adding some more cards to the squad, and maybe you guys will be adding some more cards to your squad too. So without further ado, we are on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. But let's get into the first squad that needs an RCA roster review. Let's go. All right, man, this first team comes from Big 7 or number 7 on Twitter, and he says, I got 170K in a dream, for real. So look at this squad. Alex Caruso, Klay Thompson, Jaylen Brown, Bobo, Patrick Ewing, James Harden, John Morant, Diamond, Scottie Pippen, Draymond Green, and Miles Turner. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. This team is insanely outdated, and for 170K MT, we're going to have a beautiful makeover, man. There's so many cards out there that you can grab to just spruce up this lineup. Now, there's some cards that you can leave, and let me highlight those right now. Klay Thompson, if you have some extra Hall of Fame badges on him, he can probably still do his thing in this stage of the game, but we might be able to upgrade that position for you too. Bobo, he can stay. If you got some extra Hall of Fame badges, that Bobo can compete in this stage of the game. Literally everybody else is gone. We're getting rid of every other player. So let's jump into some players that I think you should grab. Starting off with your backup, your starting small forward. So let's go look at some small forward options that you can throw on your team right now. We're just going to head right over to the auction house. And the first card that we're going to be looking at is my boy, Josh Smith. Now, if you are a defensive-minded kind of person and you don't want to spend that much MT, this Josh Smith is amazing. He does have a great shot, good defensive animations, and he is not going for much. As you can see, the MT, you can probably buy him out for like 5K. Let's see how much he's going to be costing. He's going to cost you like 6K MT. So let's chalk that up. First card is going to be Josh Smith. All right, so adding Josh Smith to that team, you can definitely get rid of that Jaylen Brown, and you can start Josh Smith at your small forward, and now you've got Bobo and Josh Smith as your small forward and your power forward positions, which is going to add a lot to your team. So we're going to have to really revamp this point guard in center position. You can think about leaving Klay, or you can swap him out for somebody else, and I will give you some recommendations for Klay just in case you may need those. So Patrick Ewing and Alex Caruso, let's take care of those two. All right, y'all. Now, keep in mind, while doing this, we are talking about auctionable cards. There are several cards that you can grind for free. James Worthy, all the, the level 40 reward, you can go get those for free and just grind. So we're just talking about auctionable cards right now. So for center, I would definitely go with somebody like this Paul Gasol. Now, he does not cost 14K MT. You can get him for way cheaper than that. But he does everything you need him to do on the court, defense, offense, and he does have good tendencies and good badges without spending a lot of MT. Remember, we're trying to keep your MT. We're not trying to spend a ton of it. We're trying to give you a full team without spending a ton of MT. So what can you get Paul Gasol for right now? Let's see if we can go 14K. Oh, Paul Gasol's getting a little bit expensive, man. He's getting a little bit expensive. 15K. Hold up. How much does Paul Gasol even cost right now? All right, now they're trolling me. I can't even find one. So Now, if you can grab yourself this Paul Gasol, it looks like he's ending at around 15K if you can grab one. He may be difficult to grab just because he is power within, but if you can get somebody like this Paul Gasol, that is going to fill out either your powerful or your center position, and you can switch him and Bobo in and out based on how you like to play. It all depends. I would actually put Paul Gasol at power forward. That's just how I like to play, and then I would have Bobo as my center. All right, for your point guard, man, we're going to be looking to grab somebody like this, Isaac Bonga. And the reason why is because he is 6'8". He can hit wide open. He can dribble the ball pretty well. He defends the perimeter pretty well. He gets good blocks. He has good interior defense. And he does come with some decent Hall of Fame badges. Floor General Unbuckable. Not the best, but he also has 46 gold badges. So out the box, he's going to do everything. And the reason why we're stressing out the box is because you don't want to be spending MT on badges after you get the player. We're trying to get you to save MT. So let's just say he ends up being like 12K, 14K, whatever he is. He's probably going to be lower than that. So we got 15K on Paul Gasol, 12K on Bonga, and then we only spent 5K. So we had about 28 to 30K so far on 3 different players, which is not bad, averaging around 10K per player. So let's keep moving. We possibly can keep Clay, but if you don't want to keep Clay, let's give you an option. All right, y'all, so now I don't know what's going on with the auction house right now, but I'm trying to get the video going, and I was going to recommend Pink Diamond Ben Wallace. Now, for some reason, I cannot find any in the auction house, and that is a problem. Now, I do know that he was going for less than 10K for the regular version, and for the Power Within version, he was around 15K. So let's say we're going to spend 10K on Ben Wallace, which is not bad. Honestly, I would go up and spend more on him. So add put 15K out there, and we'd be at like a 45K total. This Ben Wallace card is incredible. Very good card. Now, I got one with extra Hall of Fame badges. You're probably not going to find one like that. My Ben Wallace is kind of soup. But if you get one just base model, he's going to give you offense and defense. What he's not going to have are these shooting badges to let you hit blinder shots or limitless spot up. But he does have a very nice shot. He defends the ball better than pretty much anybody in the game, and he can switch on to bigs. So if you put him on the guard, he can switch on to taller centers if you play switch defense, and he's going to be able to give you a good play out there. You don't want to be dribbling with him and stuff like that. Have him spot up and do your work with your point guard, your shooting guard, or your small forward, whoever else out there, or if you run plays. Now, if you need a ball handler out there, Bonga's not going to be a very good ball handler for you. Ben Wallace is probably not going to be the best ball handler for you. And then at small forward, Josh Smith is not going to be the best ball handler for you. So we're going to have to get you somebody that can play make if you're a playmaking kind of player. So let's go look for a card that'll be good for you for that. Now, Klay Thompson is that kind of player if you have the right badges on him. So keeping that Diamond Klay Thompson is probably not a bad idea. All right, so as the recording of this video is happening, there's currently an issue with the auction house, and there's a lot of cards not displaying. So I want to show you guys the prices of the cards, but it's not able to work out for me right now. So I'm just going to give my recommendations as best as I can. So another card that I think you can have to your team, Jalen Suggs or Darius Garland at point guard are going to offer you somebody that can move out there. They're kind of smaller, but they're going to allow you to move on the court and be able to dribble the ball and get open for shots if you like a smaller guard. For a backup shoot and guard position, what I would be looking at for you is going to be somebody like an RJ Barrett to replace this James Harden that you have out there. RJ Barrett's going to give you one of the best Pink Diamonds for offense, defense out there. Now, to replace Scottie Pippen, just upgrade to the Pink Diamond Scottie Pippen for 5K MT, and you got just as good as a player. Or you can even go to the Galaxy Opal Scottie Pippen. Don't think he's very high, but I do think he's going to be out of your budget. So we're not going to be really looking to get him if he's going to be too expensive. But the Pink Diamond is going to be pretty good. We're definitely upgrading to the Pink Diamond Scottie Pippen, but if that doesn't work, you can also look for yourself a Cam Reddish, who's going to be 6'8" like Scottie Pippen is, but his interior defense is not going to be as good. And currently, this Cam Reddish, Pink Diamond in the auction house, going for 8,900 MT, is going to be phenomenal card. 99 steal, but only has 65 interior defense. That's the tough part in his rebounding. But overall, he can play the shooting guard or small forward position for you. It's going to be a huge upgrade over the Diamond Scottie Pippen that you're currently running on your squad. All right, the next card I'm going to recommend to you is going to be Pink Diamond Kristaps Porzingis. Now, we are getting a new Porzingis on Friday, which is going to take the Pink Diamond's price down. I'd be surprised if he's going for anything more than 10K. So we're going to say 10K for Porzingis. Grab him as soon as the next one drops. People are going to be selling their Porzingises and find you a decent one, maybe with an extra Hall of Fame badge, possibly, I don't know. But you'll be able to get Porzingis for very cheap on Friday, and that can definitely add to your team. Now, looking at power forward position, you can also grab you somebody, or small forward, you can grab you somebody like AK-47, the pink diamond version, who's going to be under 20K as well. So we've currently been able to fill out your entire roster and upgrade pretty much every position. If you like Draymond, you can upgrade to your Draymond as well if you need to, although I do think that is the most upgraded Draymond. I think you did well there. Everybody else is pretty outdated, and you need to swap those guys out, and you'll be able to have a full team that can compete with this current meta, and you still have like 80 or 70K left MT to save or do whatever else you want with it. Alright, next up, y'all, we got my boy Cliffy's team. Now, if you're looking for safe and reliable account grinds, make sure you hit up my boy Cliff2_3 on Twitter. You already know though, but this is my boy Cliff's team, right? Now, I saw a lot of teams like this. If you have a team like this, ain't no reason to get reviewed. You got the best team in the game, dog. So I'm showing y'all Cliff's team to show you if you had a team similar to this that was under my Twitter feed, there's no point for me to review it. You got a squad, bro. Jordan, Paul George, Giannis, D-Rob, Mutombo, Cade, Maxwell, Zion. Literally the best card at every position in the reserves are Luka, Kawhi, and Patrick Ewing. There's not many players at all that I could tell you to get. Now, it's kind of going to depend on the coach you're running, on how your team's going to play, what shoes you have on the players, what positions, who you put in them, who's on ball, who's defending where. But that's up to you. As far as team reviews, this is one of the best teams in the game. Now, as far as what you do with it, again, it's on you. Me personally, I'd be handling the rock with Jordan. I'd be playing hard-nosed defense. I'd be trying to get mismatches with Giannis and D-Rob inside the post up at the power forward and small forward position. I'd be bringing Maxwell in for Paul George if I needed a little bit more offense, or I'll put Paul George at small forward and put Maxwell in that shooting guard and bring Giannis down to the bench if I needed my offense to play a little bit more quick and be able to hit threes quicker on the three hunting. Because now you've got Maxwell and Jordan out there three hunting going crazy. You could even put Luka at point guard, Jordan at shooting guard, and Maxwell at small forward, and now you have a ton of players out there that cannot be guarded off the dribble. So much that you can do with the squad, that's up to you. But as far as roster views, one of the best teams in the game, man. All right, y'all, here's one that I kind of like. A pretty decent team, but something that we can kind of work with, right? He said he has the current Bucks 2018 switch all defense. Everyone is bashed up with Hall of Fame. Lonzo and Cade both have Hall of Fame rim, also have 120K MT. I do like this squad, but how can we make it a little bit better? What could we do? Now, what I'm seeing right away is an amazing squad offensively and defensively with extra Hall of Fames and stuff like that. Now, what I would do with this squad is you need somebody that can kind of go crazy on the offensive end. At this stage of the game, Luka and Jordan really turn this up. But we don't have enough to afford them quite yet. How can we get ourselves somebody like Luka? Now, your defense is already good. Lonzo Ball's my man, and I ran him for a minute. This is what we want to do. Now, Kawhi Leonard doesn't make that much of a huge defensive impact over somebody like Josh Smith that Luka would make over Lonzo, if that makes sense, on the offensive end. So what we need to do is get Luka on this squad by removing Lonzo and Kawhi. We're going to bring Josh Smith up to small forward. You're not going to lose very much on the defensive end, right? He's still going to hit wide open shots. And now you're able to add somebody like Luka at your guard position, the point guard position, that really goes crazy on offense. Now, when Luka is on the court, he changes the game. You have to play him so much different than you have to play Lonzo. Lonzo's going to hit shots. He's going to score. But Luka's going to score at will. And Luka's going to score in the most incredible ways. And it makes the defense struggle so much to stay with you. And that's the difference that he's going to make. The difference between Kawhi and Josh Smith is not that large on the court versus the difference between Lonzo and Luka. So that's why you want to get rid, not that he's bad, but how can we improve your team is what we're talking about. So we're going to remove Lonzo and Kawhi. You might have enough MT after that to grab yourself a Luka Doncic. Now we're going to move Josh Smith up to small forward, and we're going to put Luka as the starting point guard. Now, as far as Jimmy Butler as your backup power forward, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. you do have 120k MT to use. If you still have some of that left over, I would definitely look into getting you a center like Pink Diamond Porzingis. The Galaxy Opal or the Dark Matters dropping tomorrow, people are going to be selling their Porzingises so much you can get one badged up for pretty cheap with Hall of Fame brick wall. Put him at center, put Patrick Ewing at backup power forward, and now you have a decent squad. And leave Jimmy Butler out there just in case you want to use him. He's not bad, but I think you're going to want somebody bigger out there when you're playing against the bigger teams. AK-47 and Oscar Robertson are going to be great for you. If you actually want to use Oscar Robertson instead of using Luka, that's also good because Oscar Robertson is very good. But Luka Doncic, that card is just amazing, and that's just my opinion. I just think he changes the game so much. Kawhi Leonard is an amazing card, but for his current price, going so high as a dark matter, Josh Smith is going to be able to give you the same amount of output that this Kawhi Leonard is going to give you. And that's just my opinion on this. So hopefully you're able to get what you need out of this team. I think it's a good team, but it could just be a little bit better. All right, here we go, y'all. We got another one. I had to scroll through 30 different teams to finally find somebody that actually needed some help. He's got literally 911 MT, and this is the squad we're working with here. So it's not a horrible squad, but can definitely use some upgrades, man. Looks like he did do some spotlights, and maybe he hasn't played the game in a while. His best card out here, in my opinion, is LaMelo Ball, just based on his ability to defend, and he's 6'6" or 6 whatever he is. Turkoglu is actually very good too. Now, LaMelo's dribble style is kind of outdated compared to what he should have at this stage of the game, so we're all going to get an updated one. Stephen Curry is always going to be good, but defensively he's going to be a liability with the pink diamond. He's not as good as some of the other cards. Kyrie, all these cards down here are outdated with limited MT. This is a tough situation at this stage of the game because you can't buy cards for like 5K that are going to improve your team. Now, there's many of them. You're going to have to start selling stuff, and all of your cards can't really be sold for anything besides that LaMelo, who might be decent at like 7K MT. So you're going to have to play some triple threat online, bro. You got to play triple threat online. Use 3 cards that have a lot of contracts. Try to win some games. Build up some MT. And try to get yourself towards buying somebody else for your squad that can help you out. First thing I would be looking to improve, honestly, is your, I would say point guard or center position. Those are very important in 2K. You can kind of get away with everything else, but your point guard and center have to be very good. As far as your point guard, there's several different options you can look at. You can try to get yourself a Isaac Bonga for like 7 to 8K if you can build up that much MT. You can also go the route of getting a center that's going to help you out, like the Diamond Joel Embiid, but he's going for like 15K. Or Wayne ZZ, who's going for like maybe 12K MT. Porzingis, the pink diamond that's going to be coming out. I mean, the Dark Matter's coming out tomorrow, so the pink diamond's going to go down to like 10K. You're able to grab him up, then you're able to get somebody that's just a little bit better than what the Jaren Jackson is going to give you at this stage. Jaren Jackson's good, but he's not better than a Porzingis that you can get for very low MT. Now, another good card that you can try to save up for is possibly a Chauncey Billups. That point guard, pink diamond Chauncey Billups, although only 6'3", kind of plays more of the meta style. Super quick shot, has great defense, can distribute on offense. A very good card for pink diamond. Much better than the similar pink diamond Stephen Curry, but you got to understand that pink diamonds later in the year are way better than pink diamonds earlier in the year. Shit, rubies later in the year are better than pink diamonds earlier in the year. So that Chauncey Billups is going to be way better than the Stephen Curry. LaMelo Ball, I will say, is outdated, but he's one of the only ones you can possibly keep there and still be decent at your guard position. And you just have to keep building MT and trying to get yourself some budget cards. Now, if you like to grind the game, which it looks like you do, there are some other free cards you can get right now, like James Worthy. You can go play some clutch time. You can play triple threat. But fill those spots out with some of the newer cards that are going to have better badges and better animations, because that's better at this stage of the game. So let's get into one more and then we'll wrap it up. If you guys actually send teams that I have to, think about to make better, it would be much better for these episodes than sending in the greatest team in the game. I got like 80% of the teams sent in were like the best teams in the game. There's not much I can tell you besides, how many badges you got on that card. You already have the best squad. So let's get into the 5th and final team. All right, y'all, we got one right here. It's Memify. He says, on next gen, run typical Hawks 2018 freelance and pick and roll fades. Have a little over $1 million from snipes and pulls. Only spent on Luka and Cedric since they're fan favorites for me. Any suggestions with how much MT he has? He's willing to get any card in the game. Now, Danny Ferry, Bobo, Luka, Cedric, Ralph Sampson, Bradley Beal, Jerry Sloan, Jason Tatum, Hedo, Eddie Curry. Now, for somebody with so much MT, I will not lie. This team is not the best, but it's also not horrible. So these are the cards we're keeping 100%. Luka, Cedric Maxwell, and maybe even Ralph Sampson. Danny Ferry is good too if you want to keep him on the team. So what we want to do is increase our defensive presence just a little bit. As the game goes on, Bobo is his lack of strength is going to start to show some effectiveness. So moving him down to the bench won't hurt you at all. You do not want to be running Hedo Turkoglu as your backup power forward unless you don't play your bench very much. If you play your bench a lot, you want your power forward to be kind of strong off the bench. So let's put Bobo as your backup power forward and let Turkoglu move to your reserves. And then we're going to give you another power forward that can put some work on out there. And I recommend Patrick Ewing or D-Rob at your power forward position. They can both get it done. So you got Dark Matter Patrick Ewing or Galaxy Opal D-Rob. Make sure it's the Power Within version. And you can get them for like 120k MT or so. And what that's going to do is keep your team tall, but Patrick Ewing and D-Rob can both defend the perimeter just as well as a guard can. They rebound the ball, they can shoot the ball well, and they're stronger than Bobo. So you're not going to get back down. You're not going to get, easily pushed down low. Unless you have Hall of Fame brick wall in your Bobo, then that's different. Danny Ferry can stay, although I would much rather have somebody that's a little bit hard-nosed on defense. Now, if you're really good with that Danny Ferry, by all means use it. But I'm thinking about getting somebody that's a lockdown defender out there that you can put on ball and you can remove Luka from having to defend the ball. And then Cedric Maxwell can be your secondary best defender, right? So we're going to have somebody like a Kawhi Leonard. You're going to have to spend a pretty much a good amount of MT on him, but you could also go somebody like a Scottie Pippen. Galaxy Opal with some extra badges might only cost you like 130k MT, and he's going to be phenomenal out there. You could also go Ben Wallace. You can get yourself a Soup Ben Wallace for like 150k MT, and you can slide Danny Ferry down. Ben Wallace is going to give you way better defense, way better rebounding, and he's going to be able to give you some of the offense that Danny Ferry gives you as well. Not saying Danny Ferry is a bad card. I am saying that Ben Wallace is going to be a lockdown defender that you can put on the guard, and then Luka and Cedric Maxwell can worry about your offense for you. But you don't have anybody in your starting lineup that you can put on my offensive player, on my Luka, and I'm going to be like, whoa, I have to worry about being defended. It's not going to matter at all. I can score on every single player in your starting lineup, and that's how I'm looking at it. You don't have anybody that I'm worried about stopping me on the defensive end, right? So, and if we move to the bench, Bradley Beal is a little small, but he does have a very good and quick shot. But running Bradley Beal and Jerry Sloan together, you're running two small players back-to-back, side-by-side. So trying to get yourself a backup shooting guard that may be just a little bit bigger. Jason Tatum is starting to run his course, and he's not going to be good for too long unless you throw some extra badges on him. It's all about badges and animations. Now, Jason Tatum is not a bad card. He's going to be able to get it done. But if you're looking to win at a high level, you might, with $1 million MT, you might want to upgrade him a little bit as we start moving more into the dark matter. Zion is somebody that's good in this game, especially if you are on next gen, or on current gen. Next gen, he's pretty decent. I don't think he's worth the MT at the time. So wait on the upgrade for your backup small forward. Run Jason Tatum for now. But if we start getting a little bit more small forwards and shooting guards dropped, and you can upgrade that position, I'd be looking to do that next. Eddie Curry gotta go. Eddie Curry has got to get out of there. So whoever you put as your backup power forward position out of D-Rob, or as your starting power forward position out of D-Rob and Patrick Ewing, you're going to put the other one as your backup center. You're going to throw them as your backup center. So D-Rob is going to be your starting power forward, and Patrick Ewing is going to be your backup center, or the other way around. That way you have them in. If you want to wait till Porzingis drops tomorrow and grab yourself a pink diamond Porzingis, or, a dark matter Porzingis, he's going to go for a lot. I wouldn't recommend it, but he's going to be another card that you can grab out there that's going to help you out in the long run. We have some other centers that dropped as well in the last couple of weeks. You could easily grab yourself a dark matter Shaq or a dark matter Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but that is going to run you a pretty good amount of MT, to be honest with you. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going for over like 250, 300K. So if you were to get one of them, I would get Shaq. Now, Shaq is going to be a big improvement over Eddie Curry. He's not going to be able to shoot the three that well, but defense, offense, screens, brick wall, all that stuff is going to come into play if you get that Shaq card. Still, I do recommend D-Rob or Patrick Ewing if you don't want to really splurge on the MT that much. And then you can just keep your team how it is. Now, backup point guard. Honestly, trying to get somebody that you can put in case you need a big player. Somebody like a Cade Cunningham is going to be fine for you. But he's going to cost around 100K MT. And if you're fine with Bradley Beal and you're winning games, that's okay to use him. You just have to make sure your secondary defenders are good enough to help the Bradley Beal out there. So having cards like Danny Ferry go to the bench and have a taller body out there to help defend, although he's not the best defender, he's going to be big enough to be able to get some rebounds and be able to block some shots when you're trying to get mashed. That's going to help you out. Turkoglu's a good card, but at this stage of the game with how much MT you have, it's not somebody that you really have to run. Overall, the team is not bad at all. I'm kind of being nitpicky here and there, but there are some height improvements and animation improvements that you can make on both the offensive and the defensive end, with Luka and Cedric being your main anchors on the court. Now, if you really wanted to go crazy, a huge recommendation, I cannot recommend them enough, is going to be Dark Matter Michael Jordan, man. If you can grab that card, he is going to really turn your team around, because now you can put Luka as the backup point guard, Dark Matter Jordan as your starting point guard, and now you have a lockdown in your point guard. You don't even have to switch around anything really with Danny Ferry. You can still get Ben Wallace, but Dark Matter Jordan then sends Luka to the bench. Luka turns up your bench on offense just as much as Bradley Beal, but he's 6'7", so he's going to be a little bit better defending inside than Bradley Beal would. Then you can increase your backup shooting guard position and grab somebody else. So it's all going to be dependent on what you want to do. Those are just my recommendations, and I do think that will help your team out. You also have cards like Galaxy Opal Anthony Davis that you can grab instead of Jerry Sloan. That's going to make your team way taller out there for only 100K MT. You're getting a way better card in Anthony Davis than you're going to have in Jerry Sloan, all across the board. Although Jerry Sloan's going to dribble the ball a little bit better, Anthony Davis defends, rebounds, blocks, steals, and he is going to hit open threes. And you can post up with him if you need to, and he's a mismatch problem at the out of position. So Jerry Sloan is decent, Anthony Davis is going to be better, and you're still with those improvements, you're probably going to be down to like 300K MT, to be honest, maybe even 200. At this stage of the game, if you want to save your MT till end game, that's going to be up to you. If you want to make those improvements to win, it's going to help you, but it's not needed. This team is going to be good enough just to have fun. So it's going to depend what you want. Do you want to keep MT until end game when all the other good cards, the GOAT cards, start coming out? Or do you want to start winning more games sooner? If you want to win more games sooner, take those recommendations. If you want to keep your MT, keep this team and have fun. This team is not bad at all. So, all right, y'all, that is the video, man. RCA roster reviews. Hopefully, I gave some insight on how I think about things versus, with MT and winning all in mind, budget versus, really good cards. At the end of the day, it is my team. Do what you think is going to be best for your squad, but at the same time, animations, badges, and all that stuff start to matter more as we get further in the game. So think about that stuff. A pink diamond with better badges and animations is going to be better sometimes than a Galaxy Opal from earlier in the game. We got to take those things into consideration. As the height creep starts to increase more in the game, having some tall players that can defend are really important at this stage of the game if you're thinking about winning. If you're thinking about in-game MT, sell as many of the good cards as you currently have, use budget, and then save up your MT and try to have the best team at the end of the game. Either way, appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.